Stacks hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and upsea quantities for a fiend. Save the dreams for a king. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team and we rock it. We rock Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and bets and jets. All the time we be pubbing on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and upsea quantities for a fiend. Save the dreams for a king. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team and we rock it. We rock Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and bets and jets.
What's going on, sports fans? We are back. Week 6 NFL picks. For the weeks, I am your host, LJ from H-Town, coming to you from the Sports Chamber in Houston, Texas. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into week 6 of the NFL picks. And when I do my picks every week, I had to have my guy on, of course, my main guy, who does all the shows with me. And not to mention, picks is in his name. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My Picks from Dave. What's going on, guy?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. It's Wednesday night. Let's jump into this. We're killing baseball today. Let's give some killer picks.
Hey man, I agree. Astros are doing us very lovely right now, and hopefully they can finish it off, and we'll see the Astros and Rangers, Texas State for the ALCS, buddy. It's going to be lovely. But neither here nor there. We're going to stick to what we came to do here. We're talking NFL, man, and we're going to start off with Thursday night. As soon as I find the banner. Yeah, right here. We have the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are minus 10.5, over under 47. Divisional game here. Patrick Mahomes plays well in division games, Dave. He's 12-3 at home in the division in his career. Only couple losses he has was to Herbert. But as far as the Broncos, man, they're a horrible team. We already know this. They're bottom in yards per play, first downs, allowing 4 touchdowns a game. They allow the most red zone conversions too, which is 4 a game. First half, they're giving up 28 points. Defense is giving up 36 points total on the year, Dave. Like I said, man, Broncos are in trouble in my opinion. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, we already know what he does, especially like I just mentioned in his division. They're averaging 17.5 points a game in the first half. So, of course, I may just jump on Kansas City first half and just leave the full game spread alone because we do know Mahomes don't like covering at home, man. It's just something that he does. He just wants to win the game for the most part. But I do believe that the first half he can cover that. I haven't took it yet. I haven't looked at it. That's just notes I'm just throwing out off the top of my head. Number 1 in third down conversions. They're averaging 7 out of 14. Time of possession, 32, so they're keeping the ball. And when they get in the red zone, they score. They're 12 of 19 in the red zone on the year. Not to mention their defense is not too shabby, only allowing 16 points. They got 38 quarterback hits, 13 sacks. And the field goal kicker is averaging 2 field goals a game, Hunter Buckner. So Kansas City's well-rounded, man. I believe they will handle business in this game. I haven't bet anything yet, but just far as a pick-em, of course, is what we do every Wednesday night. I will be on Kansas City for the win. So what are your thoughts? Denver, Kansas City Thursday.
Yeah. First of all, I'm on the under. It's come down 4 points or 3.5. I don't care. I'd still bet it. I'm trying to see when it went under so you can see if you would have had enough time to get it. Not really, because if you didn't bet it on Monday, which the games aren't even – so by the time Tuesday came around, it was already down to 49, and it's been bet down to 47.5. I don't care. I'm still taking the under. Obviously, the Chiefs win. The Broncos are one of the bottom 3 teams in the league, and I actually think they cover the spread. I'm going to think long and hard. If I can get a 10 or buy it to a 10, this game should be more like 14 points. And when you look at – obviously, Kansas City's not having – Patrick Mahomes and this team isn't having a stellar – but they're still above average in both rushing and passing. And when you look at Denver, they're mediocre on offense for both rushing and passing. They're just either average or slightly below average, but they're one of the worst defensive teams in the league, worst in points given up, worst in rushing yards per game, and 29th in passing yards per game. So I wouldn't mind any prop. I mean, I'm really going to dive into this because I know everything's going to be juiced and high, but unless Kansas City's looking ahead, which I really kind of don't believe, but unless there's some reason for them not to go off, they should go off against this team.
I agree, buddy. And not to mention another prop that we could be looking at is Pacheco, because Denver allows 450 yards total and rushing yards. I think they give up the most. Yeah, 187 rushing yards. So Pacheco should be a nice play. I think they'll run the ball, control the clock, keep Russell Wilson pretty much off the field, and just wear him down for the most part, because Denver, they're in trouble, man. They don't have anything to compete versus a high-powered offense like the Chiefs. So it's no thinking on that one, buddy. Let's move on to London. We got Baltimore -4 versus Tennessee, over under 40.5, buddy. Give me your thoughts on this game before I go.
I just realized that was in London. So if I want to take away 6.5, let me do some math. So if I added it to them, yeah, I messed up on my index. I'm gonna take Baltimore regardless for the pick 'em. I'm trying to see whether I'm gonna take the points. Now, if they're telling me it should technically be a 4, so there's no value. Yeah, I'm not going to be betting this game. I'm taking it for the pick on Baltimore. Baltimore's been underwhelming, but they're definitely the better team. I think Baltimore should have been one of the best teams in the NFL, but that's just me. It's not panning out, and obviously there were some injuries and things that happened at the beginning of the year. But Tennessee is a big question mark for me. I knew that they'd be overrated, but why are they this stinky? They got a decent coach. They got a good running back. Their defense has gotten worse, but it's still okay, I guess. Don't know. Don't like betting England games anyways, or Europe international games. But I'm going to be on for the pick 'em. I'm going to be on Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me as well. Tennessee can't score. They're only averaging 2 points in the first quarter, 10 points in the first half, and only 6 points in the second half. So Ravens should, they were disappointed with me last week. They lost to Pittsburgh. I was on the Ravens. So kind of mad at them right now, but I think they'll bounce back off this loss. Lamar Jackson should play better. They have the advantage at rushing. Forrest, though, Derrick Henry can run, but Baltimore numbers show that they're rushing the ball more. And in the red zone, they're 13 of 18. So when they get in the red zone, they score. And they're only averaging 1 field goal a game. So Justin Tucker hasn't been doing not much for the most part. They've been scoring in the red zone, scoring touchdowns. So as long as they keep doing that, I have faith in Baltimore. And they just need to keep the turnovers down. They have 8 turnovers in 5 games and 6 turnovers in the last 3 games. So as long as he can take care of the ball, Baltimore shouldn't have an issue winning games. The defense is going to have the back. 34 quarterback hits, 18 sacks, only giving up 15 points a game. So the defense is going to be there and do their job. Lamar Jackson just has to make sound decisions and not turn the ball over. Play smart football, and you should be able to be victorious and beat teams like the Titans that only putting up 17 points a game. So for the most part, but like I said, they can keep the first half close because, like I said, they're averaging 10. Baltimore's averaging 11. But once that second half comes, Baltimore should pull away for the simple fact Tennessee can't score. And like I said, you always can look at Nick Folk over 1.5 field goals. He hit it last week. That's pretty much how the Titans score. So as long as you stay on that prop, you will be successful with winning with them. So that's just something I'll just throw out there. All right, buddy, let's move to this one. We got Washington Commanders versus the Atlanta Falcons. -2.5 Falcons, over under 42. Now, I don't have anything in this game for the simple fact that both these teams turn the ball over a lot. Atlanta's had 5 turnovers in their last. Wow, that was loud. Yeah, Atlanta has had 5 turnovers in the last 2 games. They don't score for the most part, mainly in the first half. They're only averaging 5 points, which is ranked 31st. Washington, on the other hand, can't run the ball. They're ranked 31st in rushing. Passing is okay. Nothing to snooze at. But the red zone, they're 11 of 18. So when they get in the red zone, they score. Atlanta's 8 of 15, so that's not too bad. But the thing about it is Washington, they allow 3 field goals made a game. So if you just want to jump on Atlanta's kicker, Young Ho, over 1.5 field goals, I think that would be a pretty good bet in this game. And I'm also looking at a prop, Logan Thomas. Atlanta gives up a lot of receiving and yards to the tight end position. I've tracked this back from last year. So Logan Thomas for the Washington's tight end, he could be a nice look too. But other than that, I don't have anything in this game. I just think both of these teams are below 500 in my opinion, and they're not a threat, to make any playoff push as of right now, in my opinion. I know it's still early, but if I was just to look at this stuff on paper, they're not too much of a threat. So, but far as a pick 'em, I will lean Washington, because I don't think Atlanta can score that much. They got BJ Robinson. That's pretty much all they have, to be successful. If you depend on Ritter to win you games, you're not going to be successful, in my opinion. They did beat the Texans, but that was a walk-off field goal. We were in that game. So it's not like they dominated that game. But like I said, if I had to lean, I would pick Washington as the pick 'em. What do we got?
Yeah, I lean the other way. I have no bet in this game. I think they're both bad teams. I think they're both questionable quarterbacks. I do. The only reason why I'm leaning Atlanta is because they're at home and because they have better weapons, young weapons. But the problem is they don't have a quarterback. And I think Atlanta's defense is actually outperforming without looking at it, because I capped the game. I looked at this game and said, no, thank you. I think at worst, these defenses are equal, in my opinion. So not a game I want to bet. The number's right on. It's accurate. So for pick 'em purposes, I'll take Atlanta, but no interest in betting these teams in any form or fashion.
Yeah, I completely agree, buddy. So we can move on to the next game. Minnesota Vikings, -2.5, road favorite, going to Chicago to take on these Bears, over under 44.5. Divisional game. So we do know these teams know each other for the most part, but I want to get your thoughts first before I dive in on this game.
Yeah, obviously, not breaking news, but bad news. Jefferson's out for a while, so they don't have that. And the Bears have tons of problems. I was doing a podcast today with Big Show, and the question is now, what do you do with Justin Fields? Well, what else can you do with him? What else is better on that team? The coach stinks. The whole team stinks. The only good thing about the team is Justin Fields. Problem is everyone knows that, so they're keying in on him. I mean, for pick 'em purposes, I'm taking Minnesota. Would I be shocked if Chicago wins? No, but I also see this week has been the closest with my numbers as far as the spread goes. I'm not even interested in taking Fields rushing props anymore, to tell you the truth. I'm just off the Bears in any form or fashion.
Yeah, I agree, buddy. I took it, I think the first game, I believe, but after that, I stayed off it too, because he's not running. He has to pass in the pocket is what I've noticed. So
yeah,
he's been putting up yards for the most part. They just haven't been winning the games because the defense has been letting them down. But yeah, I concur with everything you said. Let me get to here we go. Yeah, Minnesota, Chicago. Yeah, I'm just probably going to take the over. Both these teams are giving up 25 plus points a game. Chicago, they're allowing all type of yards, passing, total yards, third down conversions. They're allowing 4 touchdowns, all red zone conversions. So they're at the bottom defensive wise as far as giving up points. And Minnesota rushing is at the bottom. They're ranked 29th and 30th in rush attempts and rushing yards, but their number ranks second in passing yards at 281. Kirk Cousins is averaging 281 passing yards a game, which is crazy. So if that's how you're going to throw the ball, then, hey, you're going to throw the ball. So I guess we could be looking at TJ Hawkinson now that what's his name? Justin Jefferson's out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I believe that's going to be the main target now for the most part. But like you say, I don't have a bet in this game. I lean to over 44.5 because I think points will be scored. But to win the game, I don't know. Both these teams are giving up turnovers. They have 12 turnovers in Minnesota. They had one last game, but Chicago has 8 turnovers in 5 games. They didn't have a turnover the last game, but I just got to see both of these teams take care of the ball better and see if they can convert third downs, because they're at the bottom of third down conversions as well. So like I said, I'll lead over, but probably not going to bet it just because I don't trust either one of these teams at all. But a pick 'em wise, I guess I would have to go with Minnesota just because I think Kirk Cousins has more weapons, I guess, to be more of a threat. And I think his defense can hold better than Chicago's defense can at the end of the game. So I will leave Minnesota pick 'em, but not betting in this game. All right, Dave, let's move to this one, man. We got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals coming off a win versus the Cardinals. Over under 45. And like I said, Bengals are minus 2.5. I do believe the number's right. I believe that Burrow showed me that if he's healthy, he can be a threat. And him and Jamar Chase is an excellent combination. They started in college and now they just continued it in the NFL. So, hey, as long as Burrow stays healthy, man, I think Cincinnati will be a bet-on team. You know, not to say they're going to go all the way to the championship. That still remains to be seen because their defense gives up points. But as far as Burrow, like I said, I like to take Burrow's pass attempts because they don't run the ball for the most part. Here we go. Yeah. They don't run the ball, man. They're ranked 29th and 31st in rushing. Yards per pass. It's only 5 yards per pass, ranks 32nd. So that's an alarming thing right there for me. Bengals haven't been scoring a lot. They're ranked 27 in scoring, but like I mentioned, I think that's just a lot to do with Joe Burrow not being healthy, and also they have to protect him. They protected him well versus the Cardinals, but that could just be the Cardinals. But they are at home. They are a favorite over Seattle, which Seattle's not too shabby themselves. You know, they only allow 1 turnover. So Geno Smith, he takes care of the ball. So I think Pete Carroll trusts him to not make mistakes in crucial situations. They come out early in the first half, averaging 11.5 points. So they're averaging 27, for the game. So they can put up points, 10 of 17 in the red zone. They're rushing. They have a nice rushing attack, averaging 100, yards on the ground. They have a 2-man rushing attack as well because they can, pick and choose if they want Walker or the other guy, to make the carries. Defense, 33 quarterback hits, 16 sacks. So they get after the quarterback too. But like the defense allows 280 passing yards. They allow the most plays per game too at 73. So that shows me if it's a capable offense that can move the chains and put up points, Seattle's defense is in trouble because they give up a lot of plays and they allow the most third down conversions too at 8 a game. So Bengals move the ball. They shouldn't have a problem with taking care of Seattle, but I haven't bet anything in this game. Cincinnati's defense allows 154 rushing yards. So like I said, they have advantages on each side of the ball, in my opinion. That's why I haven't made a bet yet. But as far as the pick'em side, call me crazy, but I think Seattle will have a chance to win. So I believe I'm going to take Seattle, Dave, to win this game as a pick'em. I haven't bet it yet, but I'm leaning towards Seattle just because of the numbers. But want to hear your thoughts on it. Seattle, Cincinnati.
Yeah, the line says everything. It's minus 2.5. These are 2 equal teams on a neutral field. Just looking at some of their offense and defense, I mean, the way to beat Seattle, they're good against the rush or bad against the pass, but Cincinnati hasn't been great passing the ball. A lot of that has to do with having a horrible offensive line that wants Joe Burrow to die, essentially. And the management has wanted to have him die because they haven't done anything to correct it. I'm on Cincinnati just because they're at home. As far as the pick'em, I'm not going to be betting anything. There's no angle for me. The line's where it should be. Again, none of these games we've talked about, I know I've been kind of passive on, except for betting the under in Kansas City. But no play for me on this except for in the pick'em, and I'll take Cincinnati.
All right, but I got you wrote down. I think I didn't get you the last game. Hold on, who was the last one we talked about? Minnesota and Chicago. Who did you have?
Minnesota.
And we did one more, right? Who do we have? We haven't done that one. Seattle Bengals, Washington, Atlanta. Who did you have?
Yeah, I had Atlanta.
Okay, there we go.
And then I had Baltimore, and I had Kansas City.
Yeah, I got those. So we've done 5 so far. Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to this one. Your team, the San Francisco 49ers, which is probably the best team in it. Yeah, best team in the NFL. Taking on the Cleveland Browns. The 49ers are -7, over under 37. Now, I'm going to let you get your thoughts first because it's your team, and then I'm going to come behind you and give you my thoughts. So, you fire away.
Yeah, easy for me in this game. If you're going to bet it, take the Browns with the points, but they're not winning the game. I think it stays inside of a touchdown. Good defensive team, but I actually don't even care. I don't know how you can stop San Francisco from scoring unless someone gets hurt. Brock Purdy stays healthy, if CMC stays healthy, if the receivers stay healthy, if Kittle stays healthy, If they stay healthy, who's going to stop them? You really want to know why. It's not just the talent, it's the game script. They run right down the field. They're unstoppable. They can run, they pass. They don't need to pass deep because they run plays and have guys that have great yak numbers, yards after catch, and they have a running back that is like a pinball. It just bounces off of everyone. So, not to mention they have just as good of a defense as the Browns. I can't see betting the Browns to win, but I definitely, if I'm going to bet on this game, I'm taking Cleveland +7. But for the pick'em, I'm taking the Niners.
I got you, buddy. Yeah, it depends on Deshaun Watson's health, man. I mean, is he going to play? Like, because if they still go with this backup, 49ers are going to destroy the Browns. But defensive-wise, maybe Cleveland can stay in the game because their defense is only giving up 15 points, 34 quarterback hits, but they turn the ball over a lot. They have 10 turnovers, 2+ turnovers, 3 out of the 4 games. And like I said, most of that's Deshaun Watson not protecting the ball. But as far as the 49ers, you said everything that needs to be said. They're top 10 in points scored and points allowed, averaging 33 points a game, 400 total yards, ranked first in first downs. I mean, we can go on and on. Ranked top 5 in rushing and passing, yards per pass, 9 yards per pass for Brock Purdy. I mean, 16-23 in the red zone. I mean, San Francisco looks like the best team in the NFL, man. And I'm not surprised. You know, they probably got a chip on their shoulder from last year. They probably feel if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt, they would be in the Super Bowl. So I'm pretty sure, man, they're out on a mission this year. They're number 1 in turnover differential. They're undefeated with McCaffrey in the lineup. So might as well just keep riding the money train, man. I mean, what's going to be different? You know, why should we jump off if they're consistently showing us that they're being productive? You know, they got a 2-headed monster with McCaffrey and Acuna. Kittle's got involved last week. So, I mean, they can spread the wealth, man. And as long as the defense continue to keep dominating, especially on the run game, because you can't run the ball on them at all. Like, it's just not nothing you can do. You know, you got to hope that you have a quarterback to probably complete some passes and get down the field. But other than that, man, I'm on the 49ers, man. And I'm taking them in the first half because we do know 49ers always cover that first half, man. And you could take them in the first quarter, too, because they're averaging 7 points in the first quarter. This could be a trifecta spot. But like I said, just depends on Deshaun Watson plays. But if he does play, I don't think it's going to be a difference because he's not going to be, you know, he's going to be rusty. So I'm on the 49ers, man. That's just not enough for me to think about. I just think they're too dominant.
Well, I this is a thing. So Markel, I run indexes, which an index to me, a spread and index is interchangeable. It just means basically when you do an index, you make your own lines, and I don't willy-nilly just come up with them. I take ones of guys I know and I average them. Very, very famous, well-known guys. It should be about 4.5 to 5. The reason why it's 7 is they're on the road, but B, this is a defensive team. The Cleveland Browns. Now they haven't faced a team like the Niners. And there's no team like the Niners in the NFL. So we'll see how great their defense is. But the books are basically saying this defense good enough to hold it within a touchdown. I hope the Niners cover. My advice is to not take the Niners at that number. That's just my advice. Take a first half, take a first quarter, take a whatever. That is backdoor written all over it. Yeah,
I agree. Just take them early. Don't even worry about the full game spread because, like I said, anything can happen. Shenanigans happens. Who knows, man? Yeah, it's the NFL. But like I said, they make these lines for a reason, so we just got to be smart enough to pick the right situation at times. And I believe taking the Niners early is the better play than taking the full game. All right, buddy. Let's move to this one. The New Orleans Saints coming to my neck of the woods, coming down to Houston. The Saints are -1 as a road favorite. Over under 42.5. Now, these are my thoughts. Like I told you, Dave, beginning of the season, I was interested to see how DeMeco Ryans was going to change this defense because we were getting ran on last year and we were giving up over 25 points a game. Defense has changed, Dave. Number one, you cannot run on us. I'm telling you, the run defense has been immaculate in my opinion. We don't turn the ball over, Dave. only 2 turnovers in 5 games. CJ Stroud does not have an interception, not one. And not to mention 22 quarterback hits. Defense only allows 15 first downs at home. So D'Amico has came and changed the culture of this team. And I'm not surprised because he's coming from the 49ers who have that culture. So I just wanted to see it from my own eyes. He played with the Texans. He's familiar with the franchise. So all the stuff came into play for me to be very excited and optimistic about this team this year. Now, I didn't expect this offense to be so effective the way they are, putting up 23 points a game. Like I said, third down conversion, 7 of 15. We're putting up 357 total yards, 5 yards per play. We're ranked third in passing, 275, 7.5 yards per pass. I mean, CJ Stroud's been doing his thing, man. Staying in the pocket, being poised. I'm really, really excited to see the growth he has in a short period of time. Not to mention, our offensive line is banged up too. We're not even healthy on the offensive line, and he's still allowing to make plays out there. Being sound, like I said, he doesn't make mistakes, no interceptions. So I feel good about the Texans, man. Not to say I'm just going to be betting on them all the time. Like I said, certain situations that I got to pick. And I usually be on the first half with the Texans, but I'm not going to be on this game because the Saints have a great defense. They're only allowing 15 points, and the Saints defense has only allowed 16 first downs a game. So that correlates to an under, in my opinion. I circled it under 42.5 because, like I said, both of these teams are giving up 20 points or less on defense. And the Saints have went under 9-0 since last year, allowing less than 20 points a game their last game. So I believe that they probably will keep the Texans under 20 points. It'll probably be 19-18. Saints score 15. Texans can pull out this win. I am rooting for them. I'm going to take them on the money line just because I'm not a believer in Derek Carr right now. I was looking at the Saints to make a playoff run this year, but far as what I've seen, he hasn't been cohesive with his team. I don't know if it's going to take time. It's still only week 6, but it's not many more weeks that you're going to have to get clicking with this offense to show that you could be productive because, like I say, he's only averaging 19 points a game. So I am going to take the under 42.5. I've already bet it. I'm very confident in it because, like I said, the Saints have went under in 11 straight games under the total. So I believe it's going to be the same result in this game, but I am rooting for these Texans to win. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I like the Texans in this game. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. The number is right on the dot. I mean, I'd be taking a flyer. I'm taking a money line. I'm definitely taking them in the pick 'em. I did not share the same vision for the Saints. What wasn't about the Saints. It was about Derek Carr's effect that he was going to have on the Saints. And who knows if it's him or you said it right. It could be a million different things. The bottom line is they're not performing the way that some people thought they were. But the biggest shocker here are the Texans. Actually, maybe not even a shocker. You actually kind of called, hey, D'Amico's doing this. The defense is going to be better. The shocker, and it's again, not even a shocker, but kind of surprising. CJ Stroud is doing what he's doing. So, I'm on the Texans here. I might get to the window with a bet. It would be a money line bet. I'd say screw the point and a half. But yeah, I like the Texans here. I'm with you.
Yeah. I'm going to root them on, man. And I may get to the window at the end of the day. Once Sunday comes, like I said, when I finalize everything and I make my official bets and put them in, I'm probably going to get to the window with the Texans to win the game. Because the line is right there, like you said, they could win this game. It could be a walk-off field goal like they lost to last weekend. It could be the same exact scenario this week. It'll just be in their favor this time. So I could easily see that. But I'll be rooting them on. Next game, buddy. Division. Indianapolis Colts going to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Jaguars are -4, over under 45.5. Now, give me your thoughts on this game before I fire off. So I want to hear yours first.
Yeah, I took the Colts in another show just because I had to give my opinion. That's just because I can't deal with this Jaguar love in any form or fashion. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is as good as people think. I don't think Peterson's as good of a coach. What just happened? Oh, well, that's not good for my bet. I'm watching college football, but the Colts are also a big question mark too, in a lot of different ways. Not a game. I looked at some of these games. I looked at the number was I couldn't get on, and then other games I just don't care. Don't care about this game. Give me the Colts for the pick 'em. But that's about as far as my thought process goes for them.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson is hurt, man. And we saw it coming. We said it. The way he's running, out of the pocket trying to make plays. I admire his tenacity. I admire his aggression, but you got to make smart decisions sometimes. You got to be able to slide, man. Like, you can't run like a running back running into these linebackers because they're big and strong and fast just like you. And their job is to hurt you. And that's what happened. So we don't know how long he's going to be out. Minshew's a serviceable backup. He's not trash, in my opinion. So it's not like he can't move the chains and have them in the game. But it's a close game, and my numbers say I don't think Jacksonville should be a -4 favorite, in my opinion. But the defense has been playing well, 11 takeaways, second in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence, like you mentioned, not too bad, but he threw for 400 versus Buffalo last week, but they might just call Buffalo, in London, it may just have been a situational thing. They're averaging 69 plays per game too, which is third in the NFL. So they stay on the field and convert. But the Colts, when they get in the red zone, they kick field goals too. They're only averaging 4. They only have 4 turnovers, in 5 games. So they take care of the ball, but putting up points is where the Colts tend in the first half for the most part. Now that Anthony Richardson is out, I don't know what to expect from Minshew starting the game. So that's just a hard cap for me to try to find anything. But the Colts allows 382 yards on defense, and they allow 71 plays a game. So if Jacksonville stays on the field, control the time of possession, run the ball, because they do like to run the ball with Ridley. Not really. ENT, I'm sorry. ENT, they're running back. But as far as the game, I don't have anything. I would lean probably the under because Jacksonville has 9 straight unders since 2020 when they ran for at least 155 yards the last game. So if they continue to run the ball, I will probably lean the under 45.5. And I may get to the window once I do all the final, numbers at the end of the week before Sunday. So that's a lean. But as far as the pick 'em, I'm going to take the Colts just because it's a division game and I believe they could probably pull out. I'm definitely going to take the points +4, but money-wise, I'll take the Colts. Who did you have?
The Colts.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we're on the same page there. All right, but let's move on to this. So we have the Carolina Panthers versus the Miami Dolphins. Miami -13.5, over under 48.5. Now, we already know how high-powered and explosive Miami is. They're ranked number 1 in pretty much all offensive categories. Red zone 16-21. Turnovers, they have 8 in 5 games. They have 5 turnovers in the last 2 games. So Tua has been sloppy with the ball lately. So that's something, probably a cause for concern, but probably not for this game because once again, Bryce Young is a rookie. He's on the road, and rookie quarterbacks don't pair too well starting on the road in their first season. So that just right there will sway me to Miami, but -13.5, it's a big spread. They covered the spread last week versus the Giants as a big number. Can they do it again versus Carolina? They should, but am I interested in taking it? Not right now. Carolina's defense allows 2 rushing touchdowns a game, allowing 10 penalties on the road. So they're not disciplined at all when it comes to penalties. But Achen's hurt now for Miami. So does Mostert get all the carries now? Does the offense change a little bit considering that injury in the backfield? I don't know, man. I would just have to watch Miami just to see if they can continue to be explosive as they are. But as far as taking on props, Tua's passing yards, Tyreek's touchdown, those are all pretty much money for the most part. And you might as well just think about trying to make money that way instead of trying to pick a spread, 13.5 spread, because it's up in the air. Miami may not even be concerned towards the fourth quarter. They probably have the lead and have the control of the game. And Carolina can backdoor cover a 13.5 spread for the most part because you got to win by 2 touchdowns. That's that's probably asking a lot, but not for Miami because they've proven they can. So we'll see. But as far as a pick 'em, I'm definitely going to be on Miami. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm very, very close to betting Carolina plus. If I can buy it up to 14 or get a 14, I'm definitely taking it. And there's a couple reasons why. One is I think Miami is playing way above expected value. They're good. They're really good. But are they this good? I don't know. They got an injury at running back. But the other thing is the Panthers are the 5th best team against the pass as far as giving up passing yards, which means it's going to be slow. And I actually kind of agree with you. I think the game gets outside the number, and then there's plenty of time in the fourth quarter to get inside with trash time. So I'm really, really close to taking the Panthers and the points, but I'm not taking them to win the game. So give me the Dolphins for the pick 'em.
All right, I got you. Let's move on to this trash bowl. New England Patriots going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are -3 home favorite, over under 41.5. Now, storyline here, Bill Belichick is playing his old pupil, Josh McDaniels. So Bill Belichick's been struggling, man. And Mike called it on my show at the beginning of the preseason. He said that Belichick is going to be on the hot seat because he's going to be losing and he's probably going to get fired. Now, going to get fired, I think it's a bit stretched, but hey, nothing's impossible. I just believe Bob Kraft, if it comes to that, he'll sit Belichick down and be like, hey, you can just walk away gracefully. You can resign, whatever you want me to say, but we're not going to put that I fired you out there. I just think he has too much respect for Belichick. That's, giving him all the trophies and the success that he's had in the franchise. So I think he'll show a little bit more respect for that, just to fire this man outright for the most part. But as far as the game, man, I don't care. When I capped this game, I saw all red. I mean, they're all at the bottom of everything like that. There's no offensive advantage in this game, in my opinion. So I'll pass it to you if you have any thoughts on this game, because I have none.
No, I have none. You said it all. I mean, we say we're right, and we say we're right. We say we're wrong. The thing I was the most wrong about was the Patriots. I didn't think they'd have such a bad year. They're having a trash year. That's fine. So don't think much of the Raiders. Was on the Packers. That didn't work out. I'm taking the Raiders for a pick 'em. The numbers actually say that there's a couple points of value with the New England on the road. I don't care what they're telling me. I'm not betting that, and I'm not going to bet the Raiders either. So a Raiders for a pick 'em, but no bet at all in this game for me.
Hey, I agree. We can move on to this game. The Detroit Lions -3 road favorite in the division. No, it's not the division. No, it's not the division. Take it on the Tampa Bay Bucks. Over under 43.5. I'm on Detroit, Dave. I'm gonna take Detroit -3. They've been playing very well, in my opinion. They're 12-3 in their last 15 games. They're ranked top 5 in pretty much all offensive categories. They're averaging right at 30 points a game. First half, they're averaging 18 points, and that's probably where I'm going to put my biggest bet is the first half. Detroit, I may split up my unit, first half and full game. I just think that they're just too much of a powerhouse for Tampa Bay. I don't think they can put up enough points. I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan. The defense is taking the ball away, though, 2.5 takeaways a game. So if they can get some turnovers on Jared Goff, things can be different. But I just think Detroit's playing too well right now. 10-0 against the spread since 2018 when they won by more than one score the last game. 8-0 against the spread since 2020 when they ran for 150 yards the last game. So David Montgomery should continue to get the carries. He's had a touchdown in every game. So anytime touchdown, David Montgomery is probably a prop that we should keep investing in because he keeps cashing in every game. And you probably can take Jared Goff two plus touchdowns and the win. That should be a nice plus money prop as well that you can take because I believe they will win the game. I don't think Tampa Bay has anything for them. They can't run the ball. And like I said, I rank bottom in first downs. They're only averaging around 9 points in the first half. So they play from behind. And I just think Detroit is just playing too well right now. So give me Detroit first half and full game. And I'm taking them on the pick. What we got?
Yeah. Here's the deal, man. This seems like the trap game of the week. I'm talking a big show about it. And I think Detroit, if they're not the third team in the NFL, they're in the top 5 right now, at least. Problem is even these top teams lose games, and this line seems just strange to me. And I'm getting value on the Bucks, and I don't know why the Smarty Sharp Index guys are saying that. This is something I 100% need to dive into more, but I'm gonna take the Lions for the pick'em, but there's a good chance I'm gonna be betting 3 or 3.5 with the Bucks. Haven't gotten there yet. So it's very, very tricky game. It smells. I smell something in the air, and I'm going to find it. I haven't had enough time, but I'm going to find it.
I get you. I know you are too, because you dive in really good. I'm on opposite side, man. I just feel Detroit's playing too well right now, and I would just have to see Tampa Bay beat Detroit, considering how good Detroit's been playing. You just mentioned the top 5 team. They could possibly have a bye, or number 2 seed in the NFC. They don't get the bye; it's only one bye now, but they could definitely get the number 2 seed in the NFC. Host a home playoff game is what I was going to say. Yeah, so that could easily be, realistic for them. So, but yeah, I'm on Detroit. Let's move on. Arizona Cardinals, another division game, going out to SoFi Stadium to take on these LA Rams. The Rams are -7 as a home favorite, over under 48.5. Now, quick thoughts on this one for me. I'm going to take the Rams, but I'm going to take the Rams full game. I'm not going to mess with the first half because Arizona plays well in the first half. They're top 10 in first half scoring, averaging 16 points a game. So they do well in the first, but when it comes to the second half, they drop all the way to the bottom, 6 points averaging in the second half. I don't know what happens when they go into the locker room. I guess they just feel like the first half is enough for them, because they don't show no type of offense in the second half. They're ranked at the bottom in passing, averaging 9 penalties a game. So they're not disciplined, which puts them, in bad situations. They allow the most first downs at 26. They allow the most red zone conversions at 4 games. So when you get in the red zone on Arizona, they tend to give up touchdowns. And the Rams play well in the red zone, 10 of 19, which is top 5. 270 passing yards, ranks 5th. 6 for 14 third down conversion, which is top 5. 23 first downs, ranked 4th. So offense is pretty much well. And we know Stafford, he loves to go to the Acuna. So those props should, be as well as a look. Acuna's touchdown prop. But yeah, I just don't think Cardinals got enough to keep up with the Rams. I believe the Rams will win the game. They should cover the 7 for the most part, full game. So I'm going to be on the 7 because, like I said, I just think the Cardinals should stay in the first half and then the Rams take over. But as far as another prop, Matt Prater, over 1.5 field goals for the Cardinals, because the Rams are allowing 3 field goals made at home on the season. So if the Cardinals are going to score, I believe they're going to put up field goals instead of putting it in the end zone. So those are my thoughts. I'm on the Rams -7, and I'm on the Rams money line. And another quick to note, you know how we were on the 49ers last year, teams that played them, we would take them as a loss the next week because the 49ers would beat them up. I think we could start looking at teams that play the Eagles, Dave, because the Eagles beat you up. And I've been tracking it. The opposing team that played the Eagles previous game coming back the next week is 1-3. And the Rams are in that situation. Now, I don't believe they will lose the game, but hey, anything could happen. It's the NFL. Just want to throw that out there. Pay attention to the teams that played the Eagles the week before. See how they come out and respond the game after. So, but yeah, those are my thoughts. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it seems like it'd be a very public play, but I'm seeing 3 points of value with betting the Rams. I need to see where the line comes, but I mean, Arizona's had their time and they've done better than people thought, but they're still bad. And, they're still a bottom team. They're not going to do anything. I know it's great. It's a shocker that they, haven't lost every game by 50 points. So what? The Rams, on the other hand, the Rams have dudes. So Stafford. They not only the Cooper Cup, but they got Nakua. They still have Aaron Donald. They still have dudes. Still got a great coach. So I definitely taking the Rams for a pick 'em. I might be betting them, laying the chalk, and that's it. And I'm gonna look at their kickers prop. But last they just won.
Astros advanced to the ALCS, gentlemen.
There you go. But I don't know. He didn't even have an attempt last game, I believe. I want to say ran the Rams kicker.
Oh, I don't know. He didn't because I was on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even have an attempt.
We'll see. That's another thing. I'm still going to keep it there. It's one game.
Yeah, and we always say that when we take the prop and it doesn't hit, and we don't take it the next week, it hits. So
yeah,
that works out for the most part. But yeah, I'm on the Rams. Like I said, -7, and on the pick 'em. Let's move on to this one. Speaking of the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles -7 road favorite versus the New York Jets over under 41. Now, full disclosure, I took the Eagles -6 when it first came out because the Eagles, I believe, is just too much of a threat for the Jets, in my opinion. The Jets are bottom in every offensive category. The Eagles are top 5 in pretty much every offensive category. If it's not a mismatch this week for these two teams, I don't know what a mismatch is. The Eagles should dominate this game. So I'm going to be surprised first half and full game. They're putting up 400 total yards a game, 4 straight games. They're ranked 3rd in first down, time of possession 34, ranked 1st in rush attempts, ranked 2nd in rushing yards, ranked 10th in passing yards. A.J. Brown, 3 straight games with over 150 plus receiving yards. Red zone, 8 of 16. Josh Elliott, number 1 in the league. Field goal kickers, he's averaging 3. Defense, 39 quarterback hits, 15 sacks, 20 points or less. So defense is physical, in my opinion. I like Jalen Carter, the linebacker from Georgia. He has 3.5 sacks so far. I've been watching him to see. I'm going to jump on a prop. I just haven't keyed in yet. I just want to get some more data on him. But I believe he is a threat to be defensive rookie of the year for sure. He playing lights out. And just the Eagles overall, man, they're still a good team. They're in the Super Bowl. We already know this. And they're top 5 points scored and points allowed. So if you're that in those categories, I'm always going to be looking at you as a bet on team. So Eagles -6, -7. I endorse the 7 as well. And I'm going to take them on the pick.
Yeah, I don't know about this one either. I mean, it would be really, really disgusting if I took Carolina and the Jets. Here's the thing, though. And I'm not a conspiracy guy, but this is about the time. That's what I'm saying. Is Miami and Miami's not undefeated, right?
No, they lost to Buffalo.
Okay. Is Miami really going to be a one-loss team, and are the Eagles really going to be an undefeated team? And do you think it's going to be up against good teams that they lose? There's always a shocker somewhere. And this, first of all, the numbers are telling me I'm getting 2.5 points of value with the Jets, and I get it. The Jets are bad. Mm-hmm. What just happened if last game gave that team some confidence? What happened? What the Eagles are going to have to do is run the ball, which they do very well. They've got a running quarterback and a great running back. Passing, the Jets are a little bit better. But what happens if it gives them a little bit of a boost? And what happens if we see some weird voodoo magic like we saw in the Bills game? What if there's a weird turnover? This game isn't for me. It's uncomfortable to bet, but it's definitely not, hey, they're going to beat them by 2 touchdowns. They're going to blow them out. Big question mark for me. Need to dive into this. Again, it's something in the air stinks to me. Taking the Eagles for the pick 'em. Should the Eagles blow them out? They should. Mm-hmm. Something's weird about this, and I'm gonna investigate.
Hey, you go do it, buddy. You get your Sherlock Holmes on. Yeah. I believe you. But I'm gonna be on the Eagles. I just believe it's too much of an offensive advantage. And if the Jets gonna stay in the game, they're gonna have to get turnovers. But we'll see. I just think the Eagles are too disciplined enough to fall for that, and they should pretty much dominate the game, in my opinion. All right, buddy, let's move on to this other mismatch. The Giants, Sunday Night Football, going out to Buffalo to take on these Bills. The Bills are minus 14, over under 44.5. Now, the automatic bet in this game, ladies and gentlemen, just take Buffalo first half. They're averaging 17.5 points. The Giants are only averaging 3 points in the first half. Now, I took Miami's first half last week versus the Giants. It was a 7.5 spread. They were up until Tua gets into the red zone, throws an interception, and the Giants run a pick six all the way back to cover that spread in the first half. I was so sick because it took for them to get a defensive touchdown, not an offensive touchdown, defensive touchdown, which killed my spread. I couldn't believe it. But hey, I'm not deterred about it this week. I'm going to jump on Buffalo in the first half again, especially coming off a loss versus Jacksonville in London. I believe they're going to want to come back and get some home cooking versus a Giants team that is just pretty much pathetic. They are bottom in every, and when I say every, I mean every offensive and defensive category. This team is ultimately trash. I don't know what's going to happen with this team. I don't know what Dable is going to do. Daniel Jones is horrible. He's a turnover machine. He got hurt last game. I don't know if he's going to play this game, but hey, if he does, so be it. God forbid he gets hurt again because Buffalo can hurt him. But as far as the game, man, of course I'm going to be on Buffalo. I'm not taking no 14 spread, though, even though they should demolish this team. I wouldn't be mad if they won by 14. They should win by 14, but I'm just going to stick to what I've been investing in, and that's just take them in the first half. I believe they cover the spread the first half, whatever the spread. It might be 7.5 again, like it was last week versus Miami. So I'm confident that Buffalo will get this first half spread and they will win the game. They're averaging 2.5 takeaways, so they should make turnovers on the Giants, get some easy scores, and just pretty much dominate. Now, I don't like the fact that Milano and Tavius White is out on the defense. Those are big blows. You know, that is a cause for concern. But just for this game alone, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I believe Buffalo totally dominates this game and put the Giants out of their misery. So Buffalo first half, Buffalo for the pick'em. What we got?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I was saying the Giants are the worst. The Giants are the worst team in football. I said they were bad. I'm friends with Nick Earl, who loves the Giants, but there's nothing they have. There's nothing they have. Daniel Jones is a dumber, more athletic Jimmy Garoppolo. Saquon Barkley's a paper tiger. Their offensive line's a wreck. Who are their wide receivers? Their defensive front is underachieving. And oh, by the way, they're starting 2 rookie cornerbacks. So look for passing props or receiving props or whatever. They're going to be way up there, but take them anyway. Find something to get on. You know, you with those kind of props, you hope they don't bust 2 runs for touchdowns and then they're ahead and don't pass again. But I don't think that's going to happen. And definitely taking Buffalo. There's value on my line for taking Buffalo minus 14. I'm not going to do that, but I'll take them in the pick 'em. That's for damn sure. And I'll be on the under no matter, even though we think there's a lot of points from Buffalo. It's a primetime game.
Yeah, this could go very under. They could score 40 points themselves.
That's 40-0.
Yeah. Or 3. The Giants get 3, if that. So I can easily see that happening. So I'm with you 100% on that one for sure. All right, last game, Dave. Monday Night Football. We have the Dallas Cowboys -2 road favorite versus the Los Angeles Chargers coming off a bye. Over under 50.5. And we saw how Dallas just got demolished on Monday. Was it Sunday Night Football? Sunday Night Football versus the San Francisco 49ers last week. And like I just mentioned, versus the Eagles, I said we took the teams that played the 49ers. We took them the next week for a loss. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do this in this situation because I believe Dallas is a live team this week. And I believe an old wise man told me that good teams usually, when they are embarrassed on national TV, take them the next game because they want to get that memory out of the viewer's mind, especially if they're a good team, a competitive team, and a playoff team, which Dallas, I still believe, is a playoff team, considering the NFC is so light, in my opinion. I think most of the teams dominant are in the AFC. I think the NFC, besides 2 teams, Eagles and 49ers, pretty much, anybody can get into the playoff hunt if you win your division, wild card, whatever the case. But as far as this game, I haven't taken anything in this game, Dave. I'm probably going to wait till Monday night when we get on the stream with Jimmy to take anything in this game. But I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas come back and show some fight. I'm not saying they're going to win the game because both of these teams average around 26, 27 points. They're pretty much dead even in total yards per play, first downs, time of possession. So it's not a clear-cut advantage on either side, in my opinion. The Chargers have scored 24 points in every game. So I don't know if their team total is 24 and a half or somewhere around there. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But team total is a good look because Dallas has been giving up points. They have been turning the ball over as well. We saw what Dak Prescott did, 3 turnovers because he was forced to throw the ball. And when he's forced to throw the ball, Dak gets in trouble. So if the Chargers can shut that run game down, make Dak Prescott beat you through the air, I believe that they could be confident enough to win the game. They got Khalil Mack on the defensive side. They got Bosa. So they have a nice little pass rush they can get after the quarterback. So, but, Dallas defense allows 4 third-down conversions a game. So that's pretty low. Now, the Chargers, they allow 300 passing yards. They allow 400 yards total of offense. They allow 25 first downs. But their defense only allows 4 third-down conversions a game. So I believe both teams will have to depend on the big play, like first or second down, and not depend on trying to get a third-down conversion because both these teams are good on third-down conversions on defense. So the big play is what's coming to play, and the quarterback play for the most part, because I believe Herbert is a better quarterback to Dak. So at the end of the day, if it comes down to Herbert making a play or Dak, I'm going to trust Justin Herbert makes that play. But I haven't bet anything in this game. I'm going to dive more into it once, Sunday's over, and we could just totally concentrate on this game for the most part on Monday night. So those are my thoughts. What we got?
Yeah.
Pick'em. I'm sorry. For us to pick them, I will pick the Chargers just because they're at home. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
off. This is a confusing game. First of all, I'm on the under. I know these teams score a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers haven't seen a defense like this. So what's really odd to me is you have a team that gives up the most passing yards in the Chargers in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but their sack rate is almost 10%. So they're 5th in the league. So what does that mean? They give up a lot of yards and then they sack the guy when it matters? Or, I mean, I don't know. So like, you're right. If you really wanted to pick and dive into this game, it's not as clear and cut dry as looking at this team gives up this and they score this. There's a lot of conflicting things. I think this becomes a primetime type of game. I think they both score less than they score. I think there's maybe some turnovers or one or both quarterbacks don't have a good night. There's whatever the narrative is going to be. I think I think it's too obvious of an over. And then we can look at this 2 ways, and I don't know what to do. The number for the side, the number's telling me that I'm getting a point of value with the Chargers. So it's one of two. It's either the Cowboys need to show up after getting embarrassed, or maybe this Cowboys team isn't good. Maybe it's that. I don't think that can be possible, but it's maybe. I have to go with the Cowboys here. I love the Chargers to beat them at home. I think it's good. I think it's a good side. If the Cowboys don't win this game, I think they get knocked off of the top 2 tiers and are just sort of a mediocre team, and they're in trouble because what if only one NFC East team goes to the playoffs? What if?
I agree. Because their defense is what the catalyst of the Cowboys. We see that, Dak is not the quarterback that could win you those games. He has to depend on his defense. So
great, they have a great defense, but they have a quarterback that's a fart brain. You know what
exactly,
I mean? Like,
exactly. So at the end of the day, you're going to have to trust him to do something. He's either going to fail or succeed. And I take the latter. He's going to fail because he showed us that so far. All right, Dave. We done ran through those picks, man. As far as the pick them, who are you on? Dallas or Chargers? I'm sorry.
I'm going to go with the Dallas.
Okay.
I don't like it, but
gotcha. All right, I'm on the other side. Like I said, man, we got to shake it up. Try to get these wins, man. I didn't have a good week last week. I think I went 6-7, I believe. What did I go? I think you went 7-7. I went 6-8. That's what I think I went. Yeah, I had a bad week. Those early games. Baltimore lost, Houston lost on the walk-off, Buffalo lost to Jacksonville. What was another loss I had? It was a couple of them in the early games, which is horrible for me last week.
Yeah, I went 8 and I went 7-2 last week in NFL. but I went under 500 or 500 and pick 'em, under 500 in the contest. I just got good lines at the end when I bet them the night before. All the lines changed, you know.
Yeah.
The Houston one was the only one I lost. I mean, that was when I felt the most confident in.
Yeah, I was too. But like I said, it was a walk-off. You know, it could have went either way. So yeah. But hey, man, another week in the books, week 6. We wrapped up our picks. We got them in. So let's be excited for Sunday, man. Tell the people where they could find you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, picks from Dave. First of all, I want to thank LJ and thank the chat, Markel, Nasty Nate, you guys showing up, whoever else is watching. We love you guys. That's why we do it. Picks from Dave, Twitter, Picks from Dave, YouTube. I do shows on Friday and Saturday. I do shows on Wednesday right before this. Don't know if that's still going to go on. I'm doing shows all the time. I'm trying new things, seeing what sticks, seeing what doesn't. But what is for sure is I'll be on any show LJ wants me on Wednesday night. I'll be on. And so yeah, RaWordz, come back, hit like button, share, do all that stuff.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. You know, every week you give me your time. You know, I love capping games with you. Like I said, we hit it off as soon as we met each other last year in San Antonio. So, man, you're always going to have a big special place in my heart, buddy. He's always going to be down for you. You know what I'm saying? Always there for you. So this is what we're going to do. And congratulations to the Houston Astros for advancing to their 7th straight ALCS. And we're about to battle these Texas Rangers, and this is going to be a great series, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait.
There we go. I think LJ might have froze. So I'm going to duck out and hopefully you can shut the stream off because it will still rolling. But thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I had technical difficulties. My battery died on my computer, but hey, it's all good. I'm doing the final outro. LJ from H-Town. We will see y'all next week. And like I said, let's keep cashing, ladies and gentlemen, because this is what we continue to do. Let's keep making money.
All the time we be pubbing on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and up see quantities for a fiend, save the dreams for a king. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team, and we rock it. We rock Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and Becks and Jets. Yeah, R-A-W. Words being served, no concern and no trouble to get that dough. Money on my mind, if it's money all the time, we be pumping on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and up, see quantities for a fiend, save the dreams for a king.